Hey guys, Thunderstood here, and we have a real treat. We have new Ancient Gear support. We got a new boss monster. We got a new spell card, but we'll have to look at the spell card later. It usually, or it looks like it works with Gear Town, so there will be room for a Gear Town version. But here, we're going with our straight fusion version, and we use the skill Battle Ancient Gear, which is a very strong skill. It lets us normal summon a golem or an ultimate pound, and if it is a golem, we can use, or we can throw a poly from outside our deck into a spell or trap zone. We have to use it then though, it's eliminated in the end phase. So that combined with the Hunting Hound, we really don't have to use poly straight up anymore. We have big boss monsters we can get out, and other ways to fusion. This also frees up more back row hate. We get a lot of back row hate by slimming down on frame and box too, so really good. We still of course have Howitzer to go with our Hound, so we have really good first turn plays. We snuck some XEs. We gotta get a bunch of ultimate Ancient Gear Golems because this new boss monster works really well with him. He takes only 3 Ancient Gear. It doesn't have to be a golem, it can be any 3 Ancient Gear, and your opponent can activate spell or traps when he attacks. He doesn't pierce, but if you do use golems or pounds 2 or more, you get to attack that many times in your battle phase. So if you use all 3 as golems or pounds, he can attack 3 times at 3300. But really his best ability when he's removed from the field in any way, be it banished or destroyed or anything, as long as your opponent did it, you get to bring out an ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, and then of course he can turn into the Gear Golem. It all works out really well through all this synergy. Combine that with just more room for back row hate, and this deck can clap with the best of them. So really looking forward to the Ancient Gear version too. There's a new spell card that'll give us a double summon on Gear Town Destruction, if I'm understanding it correctly. That's going to be a lot of fun too. Really love revisiting Ancient Gear from this box, so we'll do it a couple times. Then there's some other stuff with links. They're trying to do level 10 machines. I see some Insector links. I see this new archetype Infernoid or something. So there's plenty of other stuff to jump into. Hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Alright, here we are facing a Yami Yugi. We're going second. He's showing Power of Dark. We've got a handful of Ancient Gear Golems and a Hunting Hound. He is triple D's, so he's going to hit us with the Swirl Slime. High King Genghis. Ragnarok. And a Maxwell. Pretty formidable field, but no back row. Even if there was a back row, we could have Cosmic Cycloned it. So we were really good with this duel. It's a very obviously good hand. Now we're not going to use our Hound. It looks like we're going to use our skill. So we're able to get our cutscene, normal summoning our Ancient Gear Golem, get our Poly. Now we're still going to use these 3. We still could have done it with our boy, but we don't need to, as we can go with the Megaton. Now he can attack 3 times. So we go over the Genghis, go over the Maxwell, and we go over the Ragnarok. So really just dunked on him. Virtually no idea what he could do with 2 cards to beat us. He can even top deck his Kepler, which is a sick top deck. I think it's at 1 or 2. Gets a gate, continue searching. But like I said, they're not really dynamic enough to where if they're not swinging over you, they're not going to do much. And even if he does swing over this boy, you have an ultimate Ancient Gear Golem coming at you. So it's a lot of work. Here he's bringing out Dark, bringing out Beowulf, and slowly realizing there is just legitimately nothing he can do. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Yami Yugi. We're going first. We have a Gearbox, a Wyvern, Hound, Golem, searched another Golem. Now we have 3 Golems, but a very vulnerable field, just leaving a Wyvern. Not much better we could have done. The boy sets 3 back row, that's why we have all this back row hate. We get rid of 1 Karma Cut. We use our skill to normal summon our Ancient Gear Golem. It's gotta be the Ancient Gear Golem if you want to do a fusion. If you want to bring out the Pound just to do pound things, that's fine too. It's a very strong monster, but if you gotta do the fusions, it's gotta be the golem. That's the only way to get the poly. Here, he's not even gonna let us get the poly. He uses another karma cut after we destroy one, so we hit him for 1700. Now he's going to Ancient Rules a Blue Eyes out, swing over our poor wyvern. I like saying that word wrong. Then we go with our skill once again to bring out our Gear Golem, then use our skill once again to bring out our Poly. Use said Poly. All three are Ancient Gear Golems or pounds, which means this boy can attack 3 times, so that's 1 time, 2 times. Imagine he was full 4000 HP at the start of this turn. We would have been able to swing 3 times and finish him off. That's why we don't need Concentrating Current, and we can just do more back row hate. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing Edgy Jaden. We're going second. Gotta take it to Edgy Jaden, no problem. He's got 22 cards. We got Hound and a handful of golems. So he's starting with a Sage. Look at that. Sage, card of consonants. Ties that bind, nothing he can do. So an incredibly vulnerable field. Brings out a Spirit of White, not really gonna help him. Now, obviously we don't need Megaton. We could Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem into a level 0 or a 0 attack Sage, and we could win. But I want to use Megaton, so there's one Megaton. We swing over the Sage. We didn't even use the Hound. Now we're gonna be able to swing over that Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Even if he does bring out a Blue Eyes, we can still swing. We could swing another time with that Megaton, I'm pretty sure. But we'll show you finishing with our Hunting Hound. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are going second against a Yami Yugi. He's full a little Yuged out over there. We got a Pound, we got a Hound, we got a Cyclone, and a Wyvern. We're facing Gaia. Would have been really good to go first and use the Cyclone. He shows a Galloping Gaia to show a Dragonfire. Interesting. Now, or Gaia the Origin, I should say. Gaia Knight Origin. And he goes with an Envoy of Chaos and an Origin special summon by throwing away a Dragonfire. Not a bad play, not a optimal play, but not a bad play. We're able to Cosmic Cyclone as field spell. It's going to be pretty crippling considering he didn't start with a very good monster. Now we're going Hound. We are able to make a Megaton. No extra attacks, even though we use 1 pound. You have to use 2 or more. Set that Cosmic Cyclone, swing once. He's going to have a real hard time getting a 2-card combo. It's going to beat us, especially when you cannot use back row as a Book of Moon. We get our Pound ourselves. Now, Pound has Pierce, so piercing that defense, even a high D like 2k, is no problem as we pierce and finish. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Pegasus. We're going second. See what they've got for us. We have an Ancient Gear Wyvern. We got a Gearbox frame. I'm showing a Concentrating Current. Eventually I replace it with more back row hate. It's not as useful in this deck. You really don't need it as much. You have ways of pulling out lethal without it. So I went with more back row hate. Obviously the more back row hate would have been more useful here, but not a huge deal. Imagine he had a navigation and this wasn't back row hate. It would be back row hate, we'd stop the navigation. But imagine it wasn't. Here, obviously, we're using the skill to both summon and get our Poly and get our Megaton without using our Ancient Gear. So now, even if it was a navigation, he would have to banish our boy. And if you banish our boy, you get an Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Or he would banish this and we would keep our boy. He'd still have to get rid of it eventually. So it's going to be really sick. He did have a delay, but I guess it wasn't a navigation, so he's forced to scoop immediately. But even if it was a navigation, we weren't really going to have problems with it. And even if we had our back row hate instead of that Concentrating Current, we would have had even less of a problem with it. So this deck can really clap out there. You just gotta watch getting clapped on a first turn, like if you go first turn play and try to do a Howitzer or even a Megaton first turn play, and they have a means to get over it. There's not much you can really do beyond that. You don't want to put a bunch of traps in this deck. So really love Ancient Gear, love that we're getting new support. Very excited to try the Gear Town version. It's been a while since I've used Gear Town, and honestly in the past I've had some really interesting Gear Town decks that have done really well, like mixing it with Noble Knights. So excited to get back to it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.